ponder some thoughts here. I want to compare a lot of American voters on the side of Republicans and Democrats. This doesn't really apply to people that consider themselves neutral and just know that the voting is inadequate and it's all fixed for many years now, decades probably. So, like, say there's a sex worker, right? And to be equal, the sex worker is like, okay, I'm going to work with people that have a life-threatening disease just to be fair. You know, I'm going to work with people that hate women and like to beat women just to be fair. I'm going to work with people that want to destroy the environment that I love to live in just to be fair. I'm going to go with the same sex just to be fair. You know, in a perspective, what makes me think of this is that, you know, Hillary Clinton, she ran her game like a man, and she had no integrity from the beginning, you know, especially when she stuck with her husband there, you know, and she never really addressed it to the degree that to give women integrity and pride by dealing with the situation, you know, and pretty much when she decided to stop acting like a woman and play like a man, she screwed herself pretty good, you know. So she was never would have been fit to be a woman in office because she wasn't acting like a woman. And Obama too, you know, I'd like to hear what he actually did for the American black people. This is America, you know, and he was elected president, but you know, his sense of values didn't really fit the American black people or benefit them, you know, past a couple little financial aspects to my understanding. I mean, because America grew up with God, and you know, in a lot of churches, you know, that they're prided on their members, and the black community is very committed and compassionate to that degree. I mean, look where Martin Luther King came from. You know, look at his words. They still echo today, even in the hearts of people like me. So it's like, you know, people voted for him just because his skin was dark. They wanted to vote for Hillary just because, you know, she didn't have male parts. You know, and at the end of the day, it's just compromising because, you know, letting these people into office as a puppet to speak on behalf of the rest of the people that are actually behind them making the decisions and imposing on our lives and taking advantage of the situation and have outside interests, you know, that influence them. It's all like a big smokescreen, and people are running around like idiots here. And, you know, I still have to say, you know, how come a lot of the issues that we have haven't been addressed for so long? You know, how come the black policemen and courthouse workers didn't stand up 30 years ago and go on strike and say, hey, you know, it's not fair that cops are beating up our people. You know, and this comes from someone, a whitish looking guy, that I was beat up by the police and falsely prosecuted by state attorneys. You know, they were all white too, and I fought. I lost everything, but I kept my integrity because I'm a man of principle. And, you know, you want to go voting because of a party, and people switch back and forth from parties year to year based on benefits that suit them, but don't really define, you know, a benefit to their whole life. You know, whether it's lies or not, what are you doing? You know, who are you to say that you're a worthwhile American to have a vote in the first place? Oh, we need to get this person in there just to even the tally. At what? The cost of freedom, liberty, and justice for all? Boom. It's really sad, you know, and just food for thought, you know. In the end, that sex worker, she'll get the crap beat out of her, okay? She'll get trapped. She'll die of something that, you know, she's going to spread to everybody else, you know, in perspectives. So it's very irresponsible the way many Americans handle their perspective on voting. And I think there's a lot of selfishness going on here. And you know, you look at the past presidents. I'm talking like from the 70s, from before Bush Jr. We had some good people in there that actually spoke on behalf of the American people to take pride, give us unity, and have integrity and keep our principle. And now in 2020, we're going backwards, I feel, and kids aren't allowed to grow up. Adults aren't allowed to own their experiences in life. And, everybody's mixing up, you got to take the good with the bad. But no, we should be accepting and monitoring the bad on behalf of the goodness that we have. And today we're just looking at the other side of it. And it's really crazy. It disappoints people like me. And yeah, I matter. My opinion does matter. Okay? Because I made an effort. I stood up for what I believed in. That actually implies to the principle and premise and idea of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. So, you need to take a look at yourselves, with all this voting crap. I pay taxes and I push a button once every 4 years. And I have an opinion. Screw you. Your opinion sucks. You got to get out there every day. You can't just okay, 9 to 5 I go home and I sit. No, that don't work. That's not how countries are built. That's not how freedom gets supported. You need to really, really consider your efforts. And it's not sitting in front of a TV box. Okay, it's realizing that the agencies and all these entities that exist for the sake of supporting our liberty, freedom, and justice for all, they're for your hands to be involved in. Not to just check in and check out at your convenience with your grudges or gripes when something means something to you. I learned the hard way about that. And you're going to find out right now. You're finding out each and every day. Just keep on keeping on. Until you wise up, you're making a mistake. And I'm only speaking to half the people here. Actually, let's say if I'm speaking for a third of the people here. Okay, because there's really, in my perspective, there's three parties. There's Republican, there's Democrat, and then there's right in the middle. Personally, accepting socialism on degrees past socialized medicine and socialized insurance policies for things is a downward spiral. You're seeding communism and socialism that you don't even understand. Okay? I suggest you people that are into that, why don't you go move to another country for a few years and see how it is. Or actually reach out and speak to people that are fresh over here or that are over here with passion because they want freedom. And ask them their opinion, what it's like to live in a communist country, okay, and not have choices, and not have the liberty to do as you want and to pursue your dreams and happiness and be able to protect your family and have involvement in the things and decisions that affect your life. You're screwing up. And there's no more evidence than today's day and age. That's for you to think about. I've been watching it. Many people like me have been watching it for a long time. And yeah, it affects us all. But guess what? You got a lot more to lose. So this is on your behalf, for your benefit, that people like me are taking our time to do the things we do. Because we see past that. We see past your BS. We see past your selfishness and your ignorance, whether it's blind or a choice. You really got to wise up here and open your mind up. And I know it hurts to use that brain. A lot of people don't. You use your emotions and egos to try and get what you way, so this way you can get with your friends in a little group and feel like, oh, I'm part of something. And as long as I keep bouncing around between the people that support my opinion, we're going to be right. You know what? At the end of the day, there's men and women risking their lives in the military. Not everything military-based is on a selfish contract, okay? There's a lot of threats that come against America, and these people are taking their freedom and their future, and they're putting on the line for a measly pay, at the gamble that things are still going to be there when they get out, and benefits are still going to be there, while this socialized perspective and a democratic perspective hands our ass over to people that haven't worked, don't commit to anything, and sit and cry and bitch. That's on you, not people like me. the end of the day, it's about America. And without America, you got nothing. Peace out.